So today I wanted to talk about a form of therapy that I use to help loved ones of people who struggle with OCD and anxiety-based disorders. I use it particularly with parents, but it can be used with any sort of loved one or support person in the life of somebody that has OCD and anxiety-based disorders. And so I'm going to kind of give a little bit of an introduction to it. This is a form of therapy that's called supportive parenting for anxious childhood emotions. And it is underneath that acronym of SPACE. And so SPACE therapy is really about teaching loved ones how they can provide support without making the individual's OCD worse. So often when we are supporting somebody with OCD and anxiety-based disorders, we can kind of have one of two responses. So on one side, we might find ourselves really wanting them to get better. We want to take care of them. We see how much they're struggling, and this might lead to us being protective. And that might be things like, oh my gosh, I see you're really scared about going to school. You know what? You don't need to go to school today. You can stay home. Or I see how nervous you are to go downstairs by yourself, so I will go with you, or I will go for you. And any sort of behavior that we're doing to kind of take away that fear from our loved one, make sure that they feel safe. And if you've done this, you've probably experienced that short-term relief of my child doesn't feel anxious, or my spouse doesn't feel anxious. This person I love didn't experience that anxiety like they normally do. But if you've done it for any length of time, you've probably seen that it only grows. So now it's not just missing one day of school, now it's missing multiple days of school, or now it's they never go into the basement. And not only is it just the basement, now it's including a certain room upstairs in the house, right? And it slowly grows and grows, as you've likely experienced if you are looking for support for your loved one and wanting to know how you can better support. On the other side, we have what's called demanding. And demanding is really about this desire for our loved one to be able to function in life. We might see how much this is impacting their functioning, and we really want them to be able to function better in life. And so one of the ways that this can look is us telling our loved one to just do the thing, right? So this might be, hey, they're really scared of school, and we're immediately like, hey, just go to school. It's not that big of a deal. Just do the thing. And we might kind of push our loved one to do the things they're scared of, which causes a lot of anxiety probably in the moment, but it helps our loved ones see that they can handle it in the long term. The problem with that, as you've likely experienced, is the loved one stops confiding in you. You stop being a safe person for this individual, and they often feel invalidated. Sometimes the behaviors get louder if they're not feeling validated. Right? And so this might be you're telling them to just go to school, and instead of just going to school, they're throwing a fit, they're getting louder, they're getting angry, right? And so as you can see, neither of these approaches really work very well in the long term. And as a therapist, we know that neither of these approaches are helpful. So in the one, we're doing what's called an accommodation, which is really where we're kind of doing the compulsion for our loved one. We're taking on their anxiety or their OCD for them. It's kind of like their diagnosis becomes our diagnosis. And that can feel really, really good to the person struggling. The problem with that is it doesn't help them get better. In fact, research shows that the more we accommodate, the worse the diagnosis gets, the worse the impairments and the functional piece gets, right? On the flip side, with demanding, we see that the more we demand, the more that hurts the relationship, the more it causes distress. And so in supportive parenting for anxious childhood emotions, we are really working on building that safety in your relationship, building that trust, helping you be able to validate your loved one, be able to say things like, I see how hard this is for you. I know how scary this is for you. I'm so sorry that you are experiencing this. And then we couple that with confidence. And confidence isn't going to be in an outcome, right? So it's not going to be a, see how hard it is for you to go to school, and I know that you are going to get through school and you are going to love today. Because both you and I know that that's a lie, right? We have no idea if that's going to happen or what's going to happen. Confidence is about the things that we know and trust. So it's never going to be about any sort of outcome, but it can be things like, I see how much you're struggling, and I know you're going to get through this. I know you can handle this. I know you've got this. I love you. I care about you. I am here to support you. Those sort of things. And by coupling that, we're able to provide that support. And then as we work on building that support, we then start taking away accommodations. We start allowing the individual to have ownership over their diagnosis. And this is something you will be guided through as you work with me, as I help coach you through this, so that you are able to help your loved one in a way that is supportive and helpful and not making things worse. I would love to teach you more about this or talk with you if you feel like this might be a good fit for you and your family. Please reach out to me through my website or else through email or text under my contact information. I hope to talk to you soon, and I will see you then. Thanks so much. Bye.